Host detected. Congratulations to the host for getting the life experience gift package and a diamond card reward. The amount is unlimited. Note 1. This bank card transfers and consumes without any risk, and is green, energy-saving, and environmentally friendly. The final interpretation right belongs to Blue Star Shenhao system. Ding! The red diamond card has been transferred to the host wallet. I wish you a pleasant experience. Jing Gao stood on the road in the capital, listening to the system prompts in his head with a dazed expression. My heart was like a cat scratching, and I wanted to take out the wallet in my trouser pocket and check it immediately. Today in 2016, online novels have become very popular. He is very familiar with this infinite card routine. In his 27 years of life, he has never been feudal or superstitious. 5 stresses 4 beauty, 8 honors and 8 shames, loves life, and abides by the rules of primary school students. But at this moment, this kind of prompt sounded directly in his mind, and his solid worldview was slightly shaken. There really is an infinite card in hand, isn't it fragrant? He is still renting an apartment in the capital even after graduation. Yesterday, I just received a text message from a housekeeper in a long-term rental apartment. The rent will increase by 500 next month. But, he can't take out his wallet now. Because, he is standing in front of his project manager, and he is swearing. Does not need any modifiers or pronouns, this is the most straightforward and accurate description. Standing on the street together and scolded were 3 other colleagues in the temporary project team, 2 men and 1 woman. What's the use of keeping you in the company? Ah! It can't do a little thing. Don't even think about the bonus this month. Wait for the end of the year to be eliminated. The project manager's surname is Luo, a 34-year-old fat man with a big face, like a pie. Tired of scolding, he pulled the tie around his neck angrily, opened the door of the crown waiting on the side of the road, and turned his head and said angrily, "You have to come to work early tomorrow." Grass. The lingering tone of cursing drifts in the faint twilight on the streets of the capital, and the lights are beginning to come on. Street pedestrians in early April wore thin clothes to show off the fashion of this city. The eldest old Wu in the temporary project team patted the suit lightly, as if he wanted to pat off manager Luo's saliva and bad luck, and said nonchalantly, "Let's go." He is 31 years old and is a 7-year-old employee of Hike Company. An old fritters. Jing Gao. 3 people followed him into the Harvard H6 parked on the street. Hike Company is not in Qingnian Road in Xiang District, but in Shunning District, dozens of kilometers away. They all live in Shunning District. You have to go back first and then go back to each house. The manager drives the crown, and the employees ride on the domestically produced sacred car. Nothing wrong. The 2 cars started slowly. The bustling night scene outside the car window glides past like a glimpse of light. Jing Gao looked at the glorious Longhua building obliquely outside the window, and took out his wallet with a complex expression. Hike is a small company engaged in food e-commerce, specializing in the production of fried chestnuts, peanuts, and other foods. Henghua Pharmaceutical Group, located in Longhua Building, publicly tendered a batch of food suppliers a month ago, and the company formed a temporary project team to bid. After a month of hard work, bidding, quality inspection, and other procedures. Today, the deputy purchasing manager of Henghua interviewed them and took out a copy of information and photos, which showed that Hike's production links were seriously not up to standard. The meaning is to ask them to take the initiative to withdraw the bid after 2 days. So, Lao Luo scolded a few of them just now. Bidding is not just a price war, but sometimes it also depends on out-of-market bids. I want life in full bloom, just like flying in the vast sky. Rock and roll with leather pants in the car. Jing Gao took his thoughts back, his eyes fell in his wallet, and there was a red bank card. His heart beat violently. So, the prompt sound just now was not an illusion caused by him being scolded by Lao Luo, but it was true? What does it mean to have an unlimited and secure bank card? Eat breakfast, buy 2 bowls of soy milk, drink 1 bowl and pour 1 bowl, luxury car model actress turn around every night? This is a vulgar routine. I like it. In addition, what are the routines in the net article? Jing squinted his eyes and leaned against the seat, feeling that his heartbeat was still accelerating, and his brain was so excited that his scalp was a little numb. The old Wu, who was driving the car, took a look at Jing Gao and reminded several people, it's a trivial matter that the bonus is gone. We should pay attention to the last eliminated thing. This single business is caused by competitors. In the second half of the year, we will have to work hard. As an old fried dough stick, he knows many things very clearly. Sat in the back row with 2 colleagues, the man named Tian Yi. The woman's name is Tang Yunhan. Tang Yunhan was 24 years old, tall, dressed in a decent black suit and white shirt, with a lightly familiar beauty. He frowned and said, "Angkor, I am doing my duty as a guide. The problem is that quality control." Talking, glanced at Jing Gao. In this temporary project team, Jing Jiao is responsible for quality control and food packaging design. Tian Yi is a salesperson, glanced at Tang Mimi, and echoed, "Jing Gong, it's not that I said you can't escape your responsibility if there is a quality control problem. I suggest you take the initiative to send an email to Manager Luo to explain, and don't hurt everyone." Tang Yunhan muttered, "Yes." Whispered, "But make sure that Jing Gao in the front row can hear it. Bonuses account for a large percentage of her salary." Yu reading www.yuuganshu.com. Jing Gao's good mood came to an abrupt end, and his heart was so crooked. First of all, his position in Hike Company is art and design. Quality control, he just put a name in the project team. He has no control over how the company's products are doing. Secondly, Lao Wu is in charge of the production process. He actually has more say in quality control. However, the latter 2 dared not attack Lao Wu, the old fritters, and pointed the finger at him. Finally, these 2 goods seem to be in conflict, venting their grievances. In fact, he is required to bear the responsibility individually. In other words, at the end of the year, he has to claim the final elimination quota. Jing Gao looked back at the man and woman, and said word by word, "The responsibility is shared by the project team. Whoever wants to send an email to Manager Luo to assume the responsibility can send it by himself. Old Wu, stop at the front intersection. I have something." A few minutes later, Harvard H6 stopped on the side of the road. Jing Gao got off the co-pilot, closed the car door, and merged into the night. The 3 people in the car looked at each other. They didn't understand why Jing Gao suddenly became so tough. In this month's cooperation, Jing Gao has a very good temper and is kind to others. If Jing Gao is a thorny head, would they dare to force him by appointment? Tian Yi was a little bit unsure on her face, and snorted coldly, "He is a graduate of a second university who dare to beep? What achievements does he have in the company? Wait for the end of the year to see who will be eliminated by Manager Luo." "Angkor, Yunhan, night we have a meal together." Old Wu smiled and said, "You young people, eat it." There was a slight haze in his heart. This order is already pornographic, and someone has to be responsible. In the workplace, a fellow daoist is not a poor dao. He has no psychological barriers. If it is really unemployed, who will raise his wife and children? Who will pay the mortgage? But, what's the matter with this small well? Looks full of confidence. On the night of early April, the spring breeze in the capital was intoxicated, and the street lights on the street corresponded with the high-rise buildings on the roadside. This brilliant metropolis. Ijao put a cheap suit jacket on his shoulders, and walked on the sidewalk with his hands in his trouser pockets. The shadow of the tree occasionally fell on his lonely cheek. His college entrance examination was so smashing that he could only go to a Audiobook college in the end. He admired the beauty of the capital, so he filled the capital to study. The next life can be imagined. He has experienced too many beatings in his life, and has changed several jobs after graduation. Therefore, he tries his best to be kind to others in his work. Was jointly targeted by colleagues. His current mood, if you say anger, he has, but more of it is sick. Can't you talk about the most basic fairness? He realized the deep malice in this world. Mr. Zhou Shuren said, this society is only kind to the rich. If you are a poor man, even your breathing is wrong. Exhaled a turbid breath, he might be qualified to breathe now. Take the red card out of the wallet and put it in your jacket pocket, and walk to the CBD called Taiku Hui on your right. He is going to verify how much money is in this card, and then think about his future. There are so many routines in the web. He believes that this red card has a high probability of being an infinite card, but what if? Have lived to this age, there is still a sense of stability. Taiku Hui is brightly lit, and melodious light music is played in the lobby to create a casual and comfortable shopping atmosphere. Jing Jiao found China Merchants Bank 24 Hours Bank at the entrance to the side of the mall. Someone happened to be withdrawing money inside. He waited for a while, walked into the partition like a small room, and inserted the red card into the teller machine. Is completely different from what he imagined. The teller machine did not jump to the password input interface at all, and directly displayed the operation interface. I clicked the balance button high. Searching. Balance, 1000. Jing Gao looked at the series of zeros that seemed garbled behind the 1, and took a deep breath, hiss. The last remaining 5% worry in my heart completely disappeared. At the same time, I feel a little dizzy due to the increase in blood pressure, and then feel unreal. This series of zeros had a little impact on him. Jing Gao slowed down, and first transferred 10 million to his commonly used Universe Bank card. Ding! In an instant, the text message prompts the sound. Jing Gao took out his Hawaii Honor 1000 yuan machine from his trouser pocket. The text message content is displayed on the screen. Your end number 0013 card at 1832 on April 5. ICBC income is 10 million.00 yuan, and the balance is 10 million.00 yuan. ICBC 10 million. That's it, easy to get to the account. Well, took a deep breath, calmed his mood, and walked out of the cabine. I felt the gentle spring evening breeze on my face. The square outside Taiku Hui is like a shuttle, and the widescreen billboards in the square change light and shadow. At this moment, I just think the night view of Beijing is really beautiful. Itaka suddenly wanted to smoke a cigarette. At the moment, he was still an ordinary and struggling member of this huge and prosperous city, and now he is financially free. Moreover, it is not a local tyrant or a rich man, but a superb. It seems that a certain burden on the body is suddenly released. Leave endless joy and relaxation. This feels so good. Who doesn't want to be a rich man in this metropolis? Money is a bastard, talking about money is very vulgar. However, without this thing, wanting to be a layman is an extravagant hope. Jing Gao put the coat in his arms, holding the phone, and walked into the Taiku Hui. Eat dinner first. Regarding his future, he roughly has a thought. I must quit my job. Manager Loyal let go. He had a face-to-face relationship with the three guys just now. He didn't plan to continue this job. However, being eliminated and voluntarily resigning are two different things. And resigning with fault and resigning with compensation are two different things. Even if he wants to leave, he cannot be run out by a colleague because of a work error. It's one thing to be ashamed, but it's even more difficult. Tomorrow he will go to take down the 1 million order of Henghua Pharmaceutical Group, and leave Hike with respect. If it was before, he would not think about it. He is a community animal, what can he use to persuade the people of Henghua medicine? His ending must be forced to leave. Of course, before that, he would take bribes to sell the goods, and old Wu secretly used the company channels to get the goods and sell them. Will naturally be different now. As for those goods, A mocking smile appeared at the corner of Jing's mouth. His willingness to be kind to others does not mean that he is being united and targeted, and he has to suffer in vain. It was the point of dinner in the evening. The first floor of Taikuhui was bustling with bright lights shining on the spotless floor, creating a comfortable and clean shopping atmosphere. Jing Gao took out his mobile phone and searched on Meituan, and went to Heidai Lao on the fourth floor to get a row of seats. Then I bought a pancake to fill my stomach. Sir, please take your pancakes with eggs. Thank you. I bought another cup of Nexu milk tea. After eating the pancakes, Jing Gao scanned the QR code. The phone showed that there was one person in front of him, and he got up to the fourth floor. After a while, she was taken to the seat by the enthusiastic young lady. Sir, please. Heidai Lao's per capita consumption is about 200 yuan. With his previous monthly salary of 5k, it is rare to have a leisurely meal. Now, I have a small amount of money in my pocket. Those big meals and delicacies basically need to be reserved in advance. He would not be able to eat it. And there is no atmosphere to eat alone. He doesn't use the gourmet mission. I ordered good dishes, and there was a waiter sister to help prepare the dishes. The service is attentive and satisfactory. He ate slowly and swiped his moments with his mobile phone. The first update was sent by roommate Xie Gong. I am broken in love. Please comfort. With a picture of the interior of the Mercedes-Benz GLE. This stuffy skank. It is clear that it is a request for an appointment, and the person who wants it is still hooked. Thank you for doing a small business in Beijing, there are 3 or 4 suites. In addition, his appearance is good, according to the score in the net article, he can probably give him 85 points. When I was in school, I got mixed up like a fish. The girlfriends changed one by one. Jing Gao shook his head, and from the corner of his eyes, he suddenly saw 3 girls at the table next to the wall eating hot pot and talking and laughing. One of the girls is wearing a beautiful hairpin, wearing a white t-shirt and jeans. She is about 2 decades old, with a snow-skinned jade face, and exceptionally beautiful. Jing Jiao suddenly felt that he had a heart-pounding touch. Of course, he knows very well that this is not love at first sight, but a normal man's reaction. He likes beautiful women. What's more, he just became a goddess. He has the low-end and big vulgar needs of houses, luxury cars, and beauties. Well pondered for a while, but didn't go up to strike up a conversation. Maybe he will go a few years younger. Get up to put water in the bathroom. While washing my hands, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was 1.78 meters tall, bloated, and my face was so fat that I couldn't see the beauty and handsomeness of high school. The hair is rough and a bit long. Wearing cheap shirts and jeans. If you try to strike up a conversation, you will definitely fail. There is a good chance that people will ridicule. When you quit your job, you have to consider losing weight. Idaka dried his hands at the hand dryer, and couldn't help thinking about the infinite card. There are some differences between his infinite card and the routines in the net article. First, he has no system. Money can be spent at will, but skills, personal cultivation, social status, etc., can only be obtained by working their own. Especially the appearance, there is no way to have a charm plus 2 operation. But correspondingly, he doesn't have those mission failure penalties, and there is no daily salary limit, spending money limit, and so on. UU reading www.uuganshu.com is an infinite card that is okay any way you want. If you want to donate or waste, you can do whatever he likes. S only concern is that his large consumption will definitely attract the attention of others in the end. He must have a successful career to explain. Losing weight, working on a career, think about it after you quit your job. Jing Gao returned to his seat. At this time the hot pot had been eaten 7 or 8. The fat beef, mutton, and beef were all eaten by him, leaving only potatoes and cabbage up and down in the pot. The waiter sister said graciously, "Sir, do you have fruit now?" Jing Gao waved his hand, no, check out. Wait a minute. A total of 423 yuan. Jing Gao opened the mobile phone Alipay and scanned it for her. After confirming the payment, he transferred 1 million yuan from the Universe Bank's bank card to his Alipay. Now that mobile payment is popular, daily consumption is more convenient than swiping a card. Welcome to visit next time. The three girls next to Jing Gao looked at his back. One person whispered, "Oh, that fat man has such a big appetite. I look at the beauty, how could others not find it?" The girl with the beautifully issued card smiled lightly, "Ying Ying, don't let people hear it." Was higher than Taku Hui, too lazy to squeeze the subway, and stopped a taxi on the side of the road back to Chengzhong village in Shunning district. At this point, the roads in the capital are very blocked. It is estimated that it will take 2 hours to go back. But the subway must be as crowded as canned sardines. In contrast, he would rather take a taxi. Ignoring brothers Shengken's skills, Jing Gao uses his mobile phone to check the store address of the famous Patek Philippe and related information. Patek Philippe, recognized as the best top watch brand in the world. Building 1, number 23, Kunming East Street, Beijing. Jing Gao, as a pure, 27-year-old Diao Silk, is not very interested in such things as famous watches. According to the opinions seen in the internet articles, it is said that playing watches is more expensive than playing cars. Those who collect famous watches are richer than those who collect luxury cars. He bought the watch because it will be useful tomorrow. Saved the address of Patek Philippe in the phone. Seeing that the taxi was stuck at an intersection again, Jing Gao didn't feel the irritability of the past. He now has too many things to do. I was a goddess at first, a new life needs to be explored. What I could only think of before, now I can do it. Jing Jiadian opened a house buying app and browsed the houses for sale in Beijing. This is what he is really interested in. He doesn't know what other people do the first thing they have money. Anyway, with a small amount of money in his pocket, he is most interested in the house. He has been in this city for 5 years since graduating from university, and he is still unfamiliar with this city. For example, there are delicious foods there, and fun foods there. He didn't even know. Of course, there will be no feelings for this city. But, which young man working in a big city does not have the dream of buying a house to live in? Yufa Four Seasons, Shunning District, the average price is 98,000 yuan per square meter. Hengtai Capital, Donghe District, the average price is 100,863 square meter. 2 bedrooms and 1 living room is 143.86 square meters, 14.5 million yuan. Ziyun Pavilion, Sunset District, new houses are on sale. Average price is 135,000 square meter, 4 bedrooms/5 rooms, building area 450,520 square meters. Jing Gao browsed slowly, sending inquiries to the sales consultants under the house on the app. According to Shenhao's basic logic, as long as the house is good, money is not a problem. But the problem is purchase restrictions. In the current situation of Idaka, I can only buy one set. No, there are currently no restrictions on companies purchasing residential and commercial projects. It seems that the establishment of a company should be put on the agenda as soon as possible. Looked at the house all the way and asked the sales consultant. It was almost 10 o'clock in the evening when the car arrived at the gate of Chengzhong village in Shunning district. Well paid a high fare of 325 yuan and went back to the residence to take a bath and rest. Lianhua village in Shunning district is a typical village in the city. Because the rent is relatively cheap, no less than 20,000 Beijing drifts live here. Well, Gao slept until after 8 o'clock in the morning before waking up. The 2 roommates sharing the rent have already gone to work. He finished washing and had breakfast at the breakfast shop in Lianhua village. The black Toyota Camry he had agreed with Didi had arrived. "Master, go to number 23, Kunming East Street." Jing Jiao's plan today is to buy a watch first, and then go to Henghe Medicine to discuss matters. The driver who drove was a middle-aged man in his 40s, tall and thin, with casual clothes. At first glance, he was driving Didi in a private car. He took the stubbornness and said, "Yo, boy, are you going to buy a watch at Patek Philippe?" Jing Taka gave a polite smile, "Yes." He generally doesn't like chatting with others. Perhaps this was brought about by previous experience, and he was not confident enough. The driver smiled, not caring, and drove the car attentively. Jing Jiaoxian sent a text message to Manager Luo asking for leave. As for what Manager Luo will be angry in the office, he just cares about it lazily. People who are leaving their jobs are just like this. Just after sending a text message, the phone rang. Jing Gao picked it up, and there was a clear and sweet voice from a woman, "Mr. Jing, hello. I'm Xiao Qiao from Ziyun Guan." "Who? Three Kingdoms?" Jing Gao's face was blank, and then he reacted. This is the real estate sales he had been talking about for a long time on the road yesterday. "Oh, hello. Mr. Jing said that he has time to see the room today. I would like to make an appointment with you for a specific time." Jing Jiao thought for a while, the matter at Henghe Medicine should be finished in the morning, and said, "It's noon. I have something to do in the Sunset area this morning." "Ah, Mr. Jing, how about I follow you to run errands in the morning and take you to see the house at noon? These sales are really hard to attract customers." Jing Gao thought about it, and said in this voice worth seeing, "Okay. We met at the gate of number 23 Kunming East Street. Ziyun Pavilion is located in the north of Xiang District, on the edge of the 4th Ring Road. The scenery in the small area is pleasant, and all the houses on sale are luxury houses." In the sales department at the door, after asking for leave from the supervisor, Qiao Shuang stepped on high heels with a smile and walked away gracefully with his handbag. The automatic sensor door closes. Whispers came from behind. A mocking smile crossed the corner of Qiao Shuang's mouth. She doesn't need to listen to know what those colleagues are talking about her behind. But when the opportunity comes, don't fight for it, and only rely on the ridicule from behind to get results. So that's why she was able to sell 2 luxury houses in 3 months for a commission of 280,000 yuan, which exceeded their performance by a large margin. According to her experience, this Mr. Well has a strong willingness to make a deal. Qiao Shuang sat in her red BMW X1 in the parking lot, first sent a WeChat friend to apply, and started the car to leave. "Well, hi to the door of Patek Philippe's store, and when I got off the car, I saw a tall beauty waiting. I just added WeChat to the car and contacted Xiao Qiao. She cut her ears with small pieces of hair, wearing a pink satin long-sleeved shirt and white straight-leg pants. He has a slender waist and straight and slender legs. Fashionable, mature, and sweet urban beauty. Mr. Well, hello." Qiao Shuang walked over with Xiang Feng and proactively reached out to Jing Gao. At the same time, he looked at the man in front of him. A little suspicious in his heart. Is this dress too cheap? Riding in a Toyota Camry, even if it is a driver, it is not like being able to afford a big flat. Their lowest apartment in Ziyun Pavilion was sold for 60 million yuan. But, what about Patek Philippe? Itaka looked at a lot of urban beauties in front of him, and they were indeed beauties. Gently hold her little hand, very soft and slippery. He has a need for big vulgarity, but he doesn't want to hold someone's hand very dishonestly, let it go as soon as he touches it, and say, "Hello." Took her to the Patek Philippe store. According to online reports, some luxury house sales ladies and clients. If he buys a large apartment in Ziyun Pavilion, I have nowhere to put hormones. Went up the steps, facing the wall. With this one piece alone, an unclear compelling force rushed toward his face. Turning around, it is a hall that is more luxurious than a 5-star hotel. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com is not the noise of sales, but quiet and elegant. The ceiling in the living room is extremely high, and the brilliant crystal chandeliers are lined up, creating a classic and luxurious atmosphere. The sun in the late spring morning falls on the floor, with a fresh fragrance. The furnishings in the hall are full of artistic atmosphere. Several hospitality sofas and coffee tables are arranged in rows to form an invisible sales area. There was a man and two women talking to the salesperson. Just as Jing Gao came in, a woman in a suit standing by the side greeted with a smile, with a face equal to that of Xiao Qiao next to him. She looked at about 30 years old, Yu Ji Fan, and smiled, too. Please here. Jing Gao nodded. I am a Patek Philippe salesperson, you can call me Annie. You can sit down for a while, and let me explain to you the history, brand, and service of our Patek Philippe. Jing Gao looked at this luxurious and peaceful environment, and he was very calm in his heart. If this were before him, he probably didn't even have the courage to come in, right? Next time. I still have business. Can you take me to the watch first? Of course. Sir, please here. Annie smiled, soft and comfortable, with her beautiful face, pleasing to the eye. She has already seen that this gentleman is the one who really wants to buy the watch. There are slight changes in the language. Qiao Shuang is a little bit behind Jing Gao by half a step, very well defined. Step on the heels of high heels. Seeing Jing Gao's determined and calm attitude, the hesitation in my heart disappeared early. The watches here are hundreds of thousands cheaper and 1 or 2 million expensive. For her income, coming to Patek Philippe alone, her legs tremble. Mr. Should you be able to afford the down payment of Xiun Pavilion, right? She looks forward to the next performance of Mr. Jing more and more. The exhibition hall is on the second floor, but you have to take the elevator to go up. An invisible force struck. The royal sister named Annie in English pressed the elevator and invited Jing Gao and Qiao Shuang to go first. Then she stepped in and smiled decently, I don't know what this gentleman is called. Jing Gao replied, my name is Jing, the well of Shui Jing. In the elevator, the fragrance lingers in the nose. Jing Taka seems to be able to smell the difference between Xiao Qiao and Annie's scents. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. The looks and figures of these two people are much more beautiful than the few golden flowers in his small company. He used to talk to the golden flowers in the company before, and he had to consider whether others would follow him. Now, there are two beautiful women by his side. He is a 27-year-old single dog, full of ideas and passion for beautiful women. As long as he consumes now, he will naturally come into contact with all kinds of beauties. Instead of trying hard to think about how to strike up a conversation with beautiful women. This is the reality of society. Money is not everything, but it will give you certain qualifications. Jing Gao's emotion flashed past. At this time the elevator also reached the second floor. Annie led in front, Mr. Well, please here. In the exhibition hall on the second floor, a famous watch is a showcase. Full of luxury and elegance. Jing Jiao was full of confidence and followed Annie without hurriedly, and said, I need a watch worth about 2 million yuan, and I can wear it now. Miss Annie, what are some good recommendations? Okay, Mr. Well. Please, please. Annie's face bloomed with a warm smile, and brought Jing Gao to a showcase, and introduced, Mr. Jing, the price of this 6102R001 is 2.078 million. There are several price points in the back that meet your requirements. You are try this one on first, or just look at it before deciding. In the exhibition cabinet, rose gold watches are quietly placed. The dial is black with a diameter of 44 mm. It is dotted with moon and stars, and it is like quicksand. It seems to move the bright night sky into the dial. There is a circle representing the earth, and the stars and the moon hang above the earth. The hour, minute, and second hands are separated. The short lines outline a beautiful picture, giving people a reverie. It is Patek Philippe who pays attention to appearance design. Jing Gao looked a bit like it in his heart. Good things do have their own uniqueness, and said, let's try this on first. Okay, please wait in the VIP room. Annie smiled, gestured with her hand, and led Jing Gao and Xiao Shuang to take a seat in the VIP room. The windows in the VIP room are bright and bright, the spacious milky white sofa is soft and comfortable, and the mahogany square coffee table is clean and refreshing. A waiter came over and asked, "What do you want to drink?" "We tea, coffee, and freshly squeezed juice." Said, "Well, I have a glass of corn juice." Xiao Shuang thought for a while and said, "I want a cup of taiguanyan." After the waiter left, Xiao Shuang gently patted her chest. The sweet urban beauty was a little cute, and said awkwardly, "Mr. Jing, your aura is so stable, I'm almost suffocating. Now I can breathe slowly. Come." A little compliment to the beautiful girl, Jing Gao couldn't help laughing, and chatting, "You guys who sell real estate, the amount of money you pass is much larger than this, right?" Xiao Shuang gently stroked the hair in his ear, and the delicate and familiar beauty came out, and said softly, "Where is it the same? The house is just needed. Famous watches are consumer goods. 2 million watches must have at least 4,050 million worth of them to buy and consume. Of course, successful people like you don't need to think about it. The famous watch is only for timing." Jing Gao laughed. This little made it really comfortable. No wonder everyone wants to be rich. Corrected, I am not a successful person. I am an employee of a small company. Xiao Shuang rolled his eyes charmingly, revealing a sweet smile, and said happily, "Oh, a customer is got expression." Just then, the waiter brought corn juice and taiguanyan. Jing smiled high, drinking the corn juice delivered by the waiter, and checking the prestige message on the phone. It looks like he has installed a beep that is not very advanced, which is slightly frivolous. If this is to associate with girls, it is estimated that points will be reduced. Fortunately, he and Xiao Qiao are only the relationship between customers and sales. There is still a long way to learn to be a qualified Chen Hao. Annie is very efficient, and soon came over with her watch box. Black rectangle, walnut material, handmade. It looks very expensive. Annie opened the watch box and stood next to the solid wood coffee table, saying enthusiastically, "Mr. Jing, I will show you the effect." As a salesperson of Patek Philippe, she treats every customer politely and smiling as the basic qualities. When Jing Gao came in, dressed in a cheap costume, he was equally welcome. But for large customers who have a strong willingness to buy, it is natural to serve wholeheartedly. "Okay." Jing Gao stretched out his left hand, and Annie's soft fingers slid across his wrist, Yuxiang bursting. After putting it on, he raised his hand to look at the watch. With the bright sunshine in the early summer morning, from his perspective, the stars on the dial are reflected on the black crystal, as if there are twice as many stars, full of hazy beauty. There is something about luxury brands that have been handed down for hundreds of years. There was a strong throbbing naturally in Jing Gao's heart, owning it. Patek Philippe lives up to its reputation. That's it. Where can I pay? Annie's introduction was crushed by these words, but she was happy in her heart, and she smiled and said, "Mr. Jing, let's go to the first floor. In addition, due to exchange rate issues, our price is slightly higher than that in Geneva. Please forgive me. But I assure you that we at Patek Philippe will always add value." Understandable. Next, swipe the card at the counter on the first floor to pay the bill. Jing Gao used the card from the Universe line. Enter the password, sign, and do it all in one go. The cashier lady brought a sincere smile, and put her bank card in both hands. "Sir, please keep your bank card." Itaka takes it, fills in his personal information, registers for a member, applies for a VIP card, and signs. Listen to Annie explain after-sales service matters, as well as daily maintenance precautions. Gao said, "I still have business. Leave a contact information, Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com, you send them to me. I will look back. Annie, who is in a black suit, is of medium stature, has a graceful posture, and a very capable Yuja fan, neatly said, then I will add your WeChat account and return the hair to you. Okay. When Jing Gao thought this was over, the waiter next to him came over with a gift box. Annie said softly, Mr. Jing, this wallet is a little gift from our shop. I hope you like it. There are many kinds of gifts from Patek Philippe. There are ballpoint pens, commemorative coins, leather bags, watch boxes, magnifying glasses, silk scarves, ties, cufflinks, brooches, ashtrays, gloves, travel bags, golf bags and so on. She found that Jing Gao's wallet was ordinary, so she decided to give this gift. Jing Gao smiled, thank you. Take it. Put the watch on his wrist, Jing Gao carried the paper bag, and under Anne's enthusiasm, he took Xiao Qiao out of the Patek Philippe palace. In the early summer sky, white clouds floated. The sense of urban silence peculiar to midweek morning is conveyed. Jing Gao raised his wrist and looked at the table below. It was 10:10:10. A very pleasant shopping experience. He felt that he had learned a little bit and received a little baptism. At least it's an increase in experience. Qiao Shuang followed Jing Gao, white straight leg pants and 5 cm high heels, his legs became longer and longer, and he said softly, Mr. Jing, where are you going next? I'll drive you over. She has now determined that this person must be able to afford the down payment of Ziyun Guan. Before entering, she looked forward to Jing Gao's performance. And Jing Gao directly bought a $2 million watch. This is her big customer. Jing Gao heard her say that she had a car, so she gave up her plan to call Didi and said politely, then trouble you. I'll go to Longhe building. Props are in hand, it's time for business. In the morning in the capital, the traffic on the main road in the Sunset area shuttles through the bus, a bustling city scenery. Xiao Qiao poses a red BMW X1, and the mobile phone resting on the support pole is driving the Jade map navigation. Xiao Yui's voice was coming from inside, I will tell you a paragraph today. Jing sat high in the back seat. The co-pilot of other people's cars is generally not to sit. He still understands this sophistication. Through the friend application sent by Annie, Jing Gao immediately adjusted to the Do Not Disturb mode and deliberated on the next thing. In his 27 years of life, he has not tried to negotiate a commercial contract with anyone, especially this kind of contract that has been killed. He is just a job in art and design. But, he was sure he could this time. Longhe Building, located in the southern section of Qingnian Road, was built in 2010 and has 40 floors. The sky blue glass curtain wall is used for the whole body, which is considered to be quite a magnificent landmark in the bustling Sunset area. When Xiao Qiao's car was parked in the open-air parking space on the side of the road, Jean De, the deputy manager of the purchasing department of Henghe Pharmaceutical Group, was walking into the office area on the 30th floor from the elevator. He just came back from a meeting upstairs. Henghe Pharmaceutical Group is an A-share-listed company with a market value of 1.2 billion. Mainly engaged in medical equipment and medicine. This market value is incomparable with the market value of tens of billions of industry leaders, but it is also quite powerful among the private enterprises in the Sunset area. Has hundreds of employees. The 29th to 32nd floors of Longhe Building are their offices. Good exhibition manager. Good morning. Xanda does not squint, and does not respond to the greetings along the way. This is his working style. Don't think that the set is close, I will remember you. There is no need, a good job is much better than superficial effort. Xanda, the deputy manager of the purchasing department, can be regarded as a middle-level cadre in the group. The annual salary and year-end bonus are more than 800,000. Sitting in this position at the age of 31, he is undoubtedly very proud in his heart. Xanda has an independent office on the 30th floor. As soon as I sat down to drink, the phone on the desk rang. The people from Hike Company want to see me? No see. Xanda frowned as he listened to the call from the little girl at the front desk. Didn't he make it clear with the people from Hike yesterday? This time the list of external tenders will not be made for them. He is the vice president of Hike Corporation. Xanda thought for a while, and said, "Please come in." As he said, hung up the phone, holding a water glass and groaning slightly. Hike's vice president came here in person, so it was obvious what he meant. A deputy of his department, handling this million orders, it is not easy to offend people too much. There have always been a lot of tricks in the purchasing department. In the workplace, you can pretend to be coercive and arrogant. But on the outside and outside, plant more flowers and fewer thorns. Without this understanding, it is impossible for him to sit in this position. Jing Gao followed the front desk to the 30th floor with Xiao Qiao posing as his secretary. D. The front desk swiped open the glass door of the office area with the work card, took the two to Xanda's office, and opened the door. Xanda got up to greet him, his eyes fell on the chubby well height of 1.78 meters, his color changed instantly. "Aren't you the employee of Hike?" His memory is quite good. I have taken photos with Hike's team several times, and I am a little impressed with Jing Gao. What? The little girl at the front desk was a bit dumbfounded. This person lied to her feelings. Subconsciously turned his head to look at Xiao Shuang, who was half a step behind Jing Gao. She believed in Jing Gao's identity only when she saw the stylish, tall, and beautiful Xiao Shuang. Jing Gao didn't panic either, and said, "In order to meet the exhibition manager, I had to make a move. In order to strengthen my next persuasiveness, I will show the exhibition manager something." As he said, he explained the starry sky black on his wrist. "Come down and pass it to Xiao Qiao." Xanda frowned. A small employee was arrogant when he was pierced by his identity. He took a sarcastically high look and then took the watch handed by the tall beauty. Seeing the Patek Philippe logo on the dial, I couldn't help but jump. Haven't eaten pork and haven't seen a pig run? He has not bought a famous watch, but the Patek Philippe logo is still recognizable. After all, mature men need a watch. He paid attention to the watch. Xiao Shuang smiled timely and sweetly when he saw this, took out the shopping invoice from the paper bag he was carrying, and handed it over. "Manager Jean, this is the invoice." Xanda looked at the numbers on the invoice and the bright official seal, his frowned brows were smoothed, and he said with a light cough, "Xiaojun, you go to work first." The girl at the front desk was sent away. His face has been replaced with a hospitality smile. "Neglect, please sit down." As he greeted, Xanda carefully handed the watch and invoice to Xiao Shuang, and then poured tea to serve the guests. "My name is Jing Gao." Jing Gao took the tea poured by Xanda, put the disposable paper cup on the coffee table, and said, "Regarding Hike's bid, I wonder if the exhibition manager can listen to me explain something." Xanda sat on the sofa next to him, leaning forward slightly, and said politely, "Mr. Jing, you said. What kind of financial resources and net worth is a person who can afford 2 million watches? He has been in the society for many years. The person in front of him deserves his respect and polite attitude. Moreover, the order he handled is worth 1 million, which is only enough to buy half a watch." Jing Gao said, "The information that the exhibition manager took yesterday, those pictures are the problems that Hike broke before. Now the quality control is very strict. Your company sent people to Hike to inspect before, I believe the exhibition manager knows it. So, hope the exhibition manager can reconsider allowing Hike to participate in tomorrow's bidding. Some things are boring to say thoroughly." Jing Gao is very clear that Hike's previous encounter was caused by competitors. It is hard to say whether this exhibition manager takes advantage of competitors. Xanda laughed and said, "Mr. Jing, my colleague went to Hike for an inspection before and gave a very high evaluation. If it weren't for the materials, hi. I'll make a decision now and use hike for this purchase order. Calculate. I personally make a friend with Mr. Jing. Look, this is human spirit. Okay, thank you very much. Let's have tea together another day. Jing Gao took out his cell phone and dialed Xanda's cell phone number, added contacts to each other, got up and shook hands with him. Xanda smiled and sent the shaft high up to the elevator, waving goodbye. Seeing the elevator door closed, Yu reading www.yuyukanshu.com rubbed his hands in excitement and walked back to the office. Who does the company order for? Hike's offer was the lowest, otherwise he would not persuade Hike to withdraw in advance. He didn't want to figure out why Mr. Jing should be employed as a clerk in a small company. But he knows that the favor of a rich man is very valuable to him. The elevator goes directly to the first floor. Just stepping out of the elevator and stepping on the smooth marble floor, Xiao Shuang couldn't help covering her mouth with a sweet smile. Her voice was like a silver bell. Chuck, Mr. Jing, just now the exhibition manager is like a chameleon. It really laughs at me. Jing Gao smiled and said, the exhibition manager is a personal spirit. He was beaten up by society. Be tolerant and understand the behavior of being prosperous and respectful. Moreover, isn't he also a beneficiary? If Manager Zhan is an iron baby, how can his business be done? Xiao Shuang gave a thumbs up. Mr. Jing, your manner of talking just now is so handsome. Jing Gao laughed openly, knowing that Xiao was flattering. He was still in a good mood. Took out his mobile phone and used WeChat to transfer 5,000 to her, a little salary. Don't refuse. Without your cooperation, I might not be able to do this smoothly today. This is the truth. His big frame didn't stray, but things wouldn't be so smooth without the beauty of Xiao helping him to set the stage and support the scene. Then I won't refuse. Xiao Shuang happily put away his mobile phone, and led a paper bag as an attendant. Mr. Jing, where are we going now? There is closeness in the words. Jing raised his hand to check the time. At 11:15, he said, you go get the car first. I'll make a call. Then find a place to eat, and then go to see the house. Boom. Xiao Shuang parked the car in the parking space on the side of the road, got off the car and closed the door, and introduced with a smile, Mr. Jing, we are here. This Japanese food has a good reputation. The average per capita is about 1,000 yuan. Mr. Jing treats her to dinner, she can't take people as a victim. First point out the per capita. Where the daily materials are expensive, 8,000 per capita is fine. And this price is just right. Okay. Jing looked up at the Japanese food shop on the side of the street, and the plaque read Treasure Thai Japanese Food. Followed Xiao in, with an elegant environment inside. The decoration style is beige Japanese style. The two chefs are wearing white uniforms, and only a stubble of green skin is left from their haircut, which is quite distinctive. The seats in the lobby are almost full. The business is very hot. Xiao has a reservation. After inquiring, the waiter in the apron politely stretched out his hand and said, please, please. Sat at a small table for two, Xiao handed a menu to Jing Gao, recommending, the foie gras sushi, charcoal grilled Wagyu beef, and matsuba crab legs are all must-try dishes here. Then order them all. Jing Gao smiled, flipped through the menu, and checked all the recommended dishes. His previous salary, a meal in Haidai Lao, was a good feast. I haven't eaten the Japanese food above the level. The appetite for chatting with Xiao in the car just now started. Moreover, he just reported the two goods in the company, and Luo promised to deal with it. He was in a good mood. Xiao reminded, Mr. Jing, this is a bit too much. We are afraid we can't finish it. She should stop both because of reason. The amount of Japanese ingredients is small. I have a bigger appetite. Jing Gao beckoned the waiter to hand over and place the order. After the juice and tea were delivered, the first 3 appetizers came up. Matsuba crab legs are medium cooked, puffer fish white, and anglerfish liver. Matsuba crab legs are a bit sweet after a bite. The taste of puffer fish shiroko is like eating ice cream, refreshing and mellow, with a fine and heavy blend. Liver stewed sweet. Isaka is not satisfied with Hota's signature dish Matsuba crab legs. On the contrary, he likes puffer fish shiroko most. He also tasted the anglerfish liver. 4 more sashimi, 2 in the middle belly of tuna, 2 sashimi assortment. There is nothing special about the various sashimi platter, according to Xiao Qiao's evaluation, very fresh. Anyway, Jing Gao didn't eat it. But tuna medium belly is really delicious. The taste is delicate, and the happiness that melts in the mouth is experienced between the lips and teeth. 6 hot dishes. Special THRE a day crispy silver cod, charcoal grilled wagyu, charcoal grilled blackfish, grilled oysters in yakiniku sauce, pan-fried wagyu beef, sea urchin tempura. Idaka is particularly interested in meat, and I heard about the name of RB wagyu. I ordered 2 kinds of wagyu. The taste did not disappoint him. The meat is fine and delicate. When the teeth are bitten down, it is like a knife into butter without any hindrance. The beef in the mouth is soft and full, filling the mouth, plus the flavor and condiments. The deliciousness mixed in the mouth is really excellent. Enjoy! Drank a sip of lemon juice, resting comfortably in the seat. Xiao Qiao saw this and smiled sweetly. Mr. Jing, Beiyotai can be said to be the benchmark in the Japanese cuisine I have eaten. There is no better place than this. Jing Gao laughed and praised, there are no illusions under the prestige. It's really good. He took out his mobile phone, checked the public comment, and took a look at the restaurant's food reviews. Then taste the crispy cod, oysters, and throated blackfish. Each dish has its own characteristics. Among them, the sea urchin tempura is very brilliant, and the degree of frying is just right. The sea urchin is very fragrant, and the tempura is thin and crispy. One dish came up, and the waiter came quietly and gently to take away the empty dishes, creating a very comfortable dining environment. 2 servings of signature foie gras sushi are served. Xiao Qiao warmly recommended, Mr. Well, you can try this sushi. This is the best foie gras sushi I have ever eaten. There is no one. Jing Gao picked it up with chopsticks and took a bite. The seaweed was crispy and the foie gras was rich in juice, which provided exceptional satisfaction to the taste buds. I ate a meal for more than an hour. The Japanese ingredients above the standard level of lightness, less salt and less sugar give Jing Gao a very good gourmet experience. As a Chinese, Idaka is naturally a little bit fascinated and confident when it comes to food. The world's food is in China. A foodie empire. It seems that Japanese and Western food can be famous in the world, and they are indeed unique. He will try more in the future. Of course, the people who dine together are also very important. Xiao Qiao looks pretty, a bit sweet, stylish, and lightly familiar, very good at chatting, which adds a lot to the meal. The last soup is the clear soup of wild abalone. Jing Gao drank his last soup with satisfaction, wiped his mouth with a wet towel, and called the waiter, "Hello, pay the bill." "Sir, wait a minute." After swiping the card at the front desk to pay, Jing Gao put the red unlimited bank card in his wallet and glanced calmly at the cashier receipt. A total of 3,872 yuan was spent. The service fee is 200 yuan. Jing Taka couldn't help but think of the checkout statement of a certain hotel in the Magic City that was exposed on Weibo some time ago, which totaled 400,000 yuan and the service fee was 40,000 yuan. I wonder if this service charge is a common phenomenon in the high-end catering industry? If there is a chance, he can try. Before, he could only watch the excitement, but now he can experience it for himself. Xiao Qiao waited in the foyer of Beiyotai Japanese food. Fashionable urban beauties are quite eye-catching with cocky small bags. especially white straight pants and high heels. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com became more and more slender and straight. Long-legged beauty. Mr. Jing. Xiao Qiao smiled charmingly, facing Jing Gao. Is leaving the house after finishing the account, and there are customers waiting in the hall, brushing several eyes and falling on Jing Gao. The height of 1.78 meters high is not bad. Northern men are generally taller. He is only medium. But his stature is a bit out of shape and fat. Male wealth and female appearance. The people around quickly came to a conclusion. In fact, the number of details may not support this view, but people are willing to believe what they believe. Idaka naturally felt it when he looked around. I have to say that beauty is indeed a man's card face. A tying tool. Xiao Qiao is a beauty of this level. Let's go to Xiun Pavilion to see the house. Qiao Shuang smiled from the bottom of his heart, yet spending the whole morning can be regarded as holding the big customers, stepping on high heels and leading the way. Xiun Pavilion is also in the Sunset area, behind the central business district. Turning from the bustling business district, the spacious 8-lane road is lined with trees. Vehicles are slightly scarce. The surrounding environment has a rare quiet in the city. Qiao Shuang slowed down and introduced, Mr. Jing, this area is a mansion area in the Sunset area, with hundreds of square meters of apartments. The average price of second-hand houses starts at 100,000. New houses are all 130,000 plus. Look at the balcony here. Daylighting. Ijao looked out the car window. On the right-hand side are tall buildings with wide spacing. The sun in early April poured on the blue glass. The long balconies are bathed in the bright afternoon sun in the late spring. Quiet, spacious, and sunny, a low-key luxury feels rushing to the face. Qia Shuang's little red BMW drove into the purple Rime Hall lined with mansions. Drive along the quiet, marble-carved gate of Ziyun Pavilion, and turn left to a magnificent sales center. Qiao Shuang parked the car and took Jing Gao into the luxurious sales center. Welcome to Ziyun Pavilion. Sales welcoming lady bowed and saluted. The hall is covered with red carpets, and the two-story hall is gorgeously furnished, creating a luxurious and comfortable style. Itaka was led to the waiting area to sit for a while. A sales lady in a dark blue suit brought a glass of warm water. Over there, Qiao Shuang said to the supervisor in the congratulations in the eyes of colleagues, took the key, the door card and went out to see the room. This time she didn't drive her own car, but switched to the company's Porsche Cayenne. The sky blue SUV has smooth body lines and is full of fashion and dynamics. Jing Gao saw a slight movement in his heart, and got into the car. How many men do not love cars? This is his first time to get close to luxury cars. Even though he had seen it on the street before, he was a big man who couldn't take a photo or touch it, right? That picture is too spicy. I will ask Master Xia later in the evening to see where to buy a car in Beijing is more appropriate. As a native of Beijing, Master Xia should be familiar with it. He is Shen Hao, not being taken advantage of. There are a lot of negative information from online manufacturers and distributors. Even Maserati has recalled. Qiao Shuang first took Jing Gao and took a rough turn around the vast community. Mr. Jing, there are two phases of our Ziyun Pavilion. We are currently selling the second phase of existing houses. There are 3 40-story buildings. One household has 1 floor, 3 stairs, and 1 household. There are 42 houses for sale. There are 2 types of houses. One type is 453 square meters and the other is 517 square meters. The difference is mainly the external landscape and structural layout. I will take you up to see it more intuitively. Qiao Shuang introduced the whole project in the most concise language. With her several years of experience in sales, after a morning of getting along and understanding, she adopts the most appropriate sales strategy, direct sales. All things like hospitals, schools, shopping, transportation, floor area ratio, green area, and property fees are temporarily skipped. Jing Gao said, look directly at the large apartment. Xiao Shuang smiled sweetly, okay. He parked the car on the side of the road in the community. Take the Jingjiao to Building E. The house for sale is located on the 35th floor. Rough housing. There is a sense of spaciousness when walking in. Living in a small long-term apartment, Jing Gao standing in the living room has a feeling of broad vision. Then to the long balcony that I just saw on the road. More than 10 meters long, with a little arc, you can see the sights of the city outside. Purple Rhyme Hall E building, where the balcony is opposite, there is a large park with mountains, lakes, and green trees. The grass is green. I saw people playing on the grass from the tall buildings. This is life. Xiao Shuang stepped on high heels, dressed in a pink silk shirt and white straight-leg pants, standing pretty at the door of the living room, smiling and saying, Mr. Jing, you can put the balcony into floor-to-ceiling glass and put on a small seat. And your girlfriend are drinking afternoon tea here, overlooking the beautiful scenery of the Central Park. The scenery and humanities come into view. What you said is quite graphic. It's just that I don't have a girlfriend yet. Jing Gao smiled, made up his mind, and asked, Xiao Qiao, how did you sell this house? Zhou Shuang's smile is getting sweeter and sweeter. It's so refreshing, worthy of being a rich man who consumes famous watches such as grocery shopping. The voice said clearly, Mr. The price of Unit B in Building E is 160,000 per square meter. The total price is 82.72 million. We can give you a discount to 82 million. You have completed 5 years of social insurance in Beijing and have not purchased a house, and you have to pay a 30% down payment. I count. I talked about these information on the app last night. Jing waved his hand to stop Xiao Qiao, who was flipping the phone in his handbag, and said, I have the full price. Besides, this is still a rough room. Do you have a good designer recommendation? Xiao Shuang was taken aback. All, full money? Are you serious? She has overestimated this Mr. Well as much as possible. After all, it only took less than 5 minutes to buy a watch worth more than 2 million. This is the master of not bad money. Going to the Longhe mansion to do business, she is not clear about the ins and outs, but the calmness is true. She came out and praised him as really handsome, which was complimenting and mostly sincere. Successful men are charming. So she was waiting for him in the foyer when Bao Tai Ri was waiting for him. However, she still underestimated it. The full price of the 82 million mansion is directly paid. What kind of financial resources is this? Is at least 1 billion in net worth. In humanity. Xiao Shuang recovered after a few seconds, the smile on her pretty face bloomed, soft and charming, and her voice softly said, okay. The contract is signed at the sales building. I promise you will get the door this afternoon. Key. Jing Gao smiled and nodded. He really didn't mean to pretend to be in front of Xiao Qiao. He just doesn't want to bother. When looking for a bank loan, he needs to review his income flow. How to review his salary. And it takes at least 1 month to lend. He wants to get the house as soon as possible. Of course, this casual beep is much stronger than when I bought the watch. In interacting with girls, doing this should add points. Just look at Xiao Qiao's performance. Learned. It's so light on the paper, and the full outfit makes me know. His path of supernatural power seems to have improved a bit. Once again returned to the luxurious sales center. Jing Gao was invited to an elegant and quiet little room in the lobby. A girl with an online appearance came to ask. Jing Gao said, a glass of Coke, thank you. The sales lady graciously said, Mr. Well, please wait a moment. The smile was kind. Xiao Shuang confirmed Jing Gao's purchase intention, and the sales team of Zai Yunguan immediately followed suit. Jing Gao's ID card was copied, social security materials were downloaded, and piles of contracts were urgently printed. There are free parking spaces. Jing Gao spent another 1 million to buy 2 parking spaces. They are all downstairs in Building E. Xiao Shuang sat next to Jing Gao and pointed out to him where the contract needs to be signed and fingerprinted. One page after another. At this time, the sales manager came in with a handheld POS machine. Jing Gao took out the red infinite card and swiped it. Did he? The POS machine slowly spit out the receipt. He has just tested it during the checkout with Japanese food, and the unlimited card can be recognized by the POS machine. There is no need for him to go to the teller machine to transfer money to the Universe Bank card. He still has this careful thinking. Anyhow, it has been beaten up to the society so far. After Jing Gao received the bank card, Xiao Shuang said with a sweet smile, "Mr. Jing, sit down for a while. I'll call the design company and ask them to send the best designer over to meet you." Ro. Isaka hasn't finished signing yet. Another saleswoman in a suit and white shirt reminded him to sign there. It's just that the appearance is not as pleasing as Xiao Qiao. Xiao Shuang walked briskly outside the sales building. This order is done, and the commission plus bonus will be 150,000. It feels good when I think of it. More importantly, Mr. Jing seems to be very good to her senses. She dialed the phone and walked to the green lane. "Sister Zhang, my little Zhou. I have a big client who just bought a house with full money. He needs someone to decorate. Sister Zhang, it's best for you to come in person." After completing all the procedures, I got the keys to the house at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. "Mr. Jing, the real estate certificate will be issued by the real estate department after you pay the deed tax. The follow-up matters will still be followed up by Xiao Qiao. This is my business card. You can call me if you have anything." The sales manager of Zai Yungan respectfully offered a business card. There is no salesperson who does not want to continue to maintain a relationship with the customer after selling the house. How stupid is that? Jing Gao smiled and took it away. Xiao Shuang stood by, with beautiful legs and high heels, smiling like a flower, and said at this time, "Mr. Jing, do you have a rest with us, or do you have other arrangements? The designer will arrive in about 20 minutes. Jing Gao said, "Go to the house and wait. The designer needs to see it on the spot to get a design drawing, right?" "Of course. Don't worry." Sister Zhang graduated from the Central Academy of Fine Arts and has been engaged in architectural design for 10 years. Many of the houses in our Ziyun Pavilion are designed by her. They are well received by customers. Xiao Qiao drove Jing Gao back to Building E in the sky blue KN, and gave Jing Gao a gentle introduction to the designer along the way. Jing Gao nodded from time to time. Only then did I know the position of the Central Academy of Fine Arts in the industry. Oh, it seems that the most popular and top architectural designer in China in recent years is Chinese-American Pei. Took the elevator to the 35th floor. Once again in the empty room, Jing Gao felt a sense of joy. Looked back at Xiao Qiao, who followed him with a smile, and Yan Yan, who was fashionable and charming. He is tall, with high heels about 1.75 meters, and white straight-leg trousers outlines an exquisite curve. Jing Gao's heart moved slightly. He felt that the heat was almost the same, and he invited, "Xiao Qiao, do you have time tonight? I invite you to dinner." Xiao Shuang looked at Jing Gao, and his heartbeat suddenly accelerated slightly. "As soon as I bought the house, I invited her to dinner in the evening, which showed that I wanted to soak her. Of course she would like to associate with him. She is 26 years old, and she is not a little girl in school who only looks at her face. Just now he said that there is no girlfriend. However, she agreed right now. Would she seem too casual? She is in this industry, and she has a very clear opinion of their sales lady. She didn't believe that Jing Gao hadn't heard of it. She behaves too casually, will he look down on it, right?" Xiao Shuang paused, stroked the broken hair in his ear, smiled and said, Mr. Jing, wait a moment, I'll call my friend to confirm. Jing Gao certainly saw Xiao Shuang's hesitation, smiled self-deprecatingly, and said, forget it. There are some regrets in my heart. It was a good chat with Xiao Qiao. He thought that dating her would be natural, but he didn't want to be rejected by her. She hesitated, in fact, the most obvious attitude. There is no need to force others, isn't it? Zhou Shuang. No. That's an excuse for me. I will call back and tell you that I am willing to have dinner with you. Doesn't this mean that I value you more? Doesn't it seem that I am a casual woman? What do you mean by this? Mr. Well, Xiao Shuang wanted to explain that she would follow the routine in second-rate romance novels when she was stupid. Isn't it good to explain the misunderstanding clearly? This is a billionaire with a net worth of only 27 years old. How many such opportunities can she have in her life? At this time, Xiao Shuang's cell phone rang and she could only answer the phone first. Sister Zhang, oh, you are here. Okay. I'll go down and pick you up. Jing Jiao made a gesture and motioned to Xiao Shuang to go to work first. Watching Xiao Qiao leave, he felt recollected in his heart. So, Xiao Qiao's hesitation just now was not because he didn't want to date him at night, but just to be reserved? Jing Gao thinks deeply again, why should she be reserved? Think about it from Xiao Qiao's angle. Jing Gao pondered it for a while, and understood a little bit. This reservation can increase his goodwill. And, thinking about it more deeply, I can take some initiative in the interaction with him in the future. Once reserved, there can be a second time. Reproducts, why did Xiao Qiao think of being reserved? Aren't you afraid of being reserved and losing his big client? The routines seen on the internet are not like this. Jing Gao pondered again. Suppose that he is only looking at the house today, but he shows enough willingness to buy, and then invites Xiao Qiao out, then 80% can be achieved. This is the correct routine process. Of course, it depends on whether Xiao Qiao is willing to do this business. Learned. Ijao felt a sense of satisfaction in his heart. Learning makes people happy. Buying a watch, buying a luxury house, and spending nearly a day with Xiao Qiao, he has gained a lot. Take a small step forward on the road to becoming a qualified god. The 35th floor elevator door opened. High heels knocked on the floor. Later, Xiao Shuang walked into the living room with a beautiful woman in her early 30s. She is wearing a goose yellow long-sleeved wool sweater. The woolen sweater is very close to the body, making her curvy and revealing the style of a mature beauty. The bottom is matched with black casual pants. Simple to wear, clean and refreshing, revealing a sense of intellectual beauty. Comes from beautiful women's models. After Xiao Qiao introduced him, he offered to extend his hand. Mr. Jing, hello. I am honored to serve you. Hello, Ms. Zhang. The words are heavy. Jing Gao smiled and shook hands with the beautiful woman named Jing Jingying. Do designers now rely on their faces to eat? Zhang Jingying is shorter than Xiao Qiao, about 1.7 m. But the body curve is better than Xiao Qiao. And the appearance is better than Xiao Qiao. It's a bit difficult to describe the value of beauty in words, but it's really clear when two beauties stand together. Itaka feels this way now. It's a pity that he doesn't have a system, otherwise he really wants to scan the score of this intellectual and mature beauty. According to his personal estimation, there should be 90 points. Zhang Jingying took out a stack of photos from the paper bag she was carrying, and smiled and said, Mr. Jing, these are some pictures of decoration styles I collected on the internet. You can pick out the ones you like. Yul.yukansha.com. Although I have designed the Ziyun Pavilion many times, I still want to take a look at the layout in the room, okay? Very professional. Jing Gao said, please. Xiao Shuang accompanies Jing Gao to help him hold the photo, but hesitated several times. She wanted to explain, but the timing was wrong. Forced explanation will only leave a bad impression. Jing smiled high, picking up the photos intently, and did not invite Xiao Qiao again. At his age, he is full of interest and impulse for beautiful women. This is normal. He still keeps his mind on Xiao Qiao. Now I also know that Xiao Qiao is willing to go to dinner with him at night. However, he has just analyzed Xiao Qiao's thoughts thoroughly, and is more willing to wait 2 days before asking her. That would be more appropriate. More than 10 minutes later, Zhang Jingying finished the work and walked over lightly. After looking through the good photos, she said with a gentle smile, "Mr. Jing, what do you require for the decoration style of the room?" Jing Gao muttered, "Luxury and restrained, comfortable and natural." Zhang Jingying chuckled softly, "Mr. Jing's words are really sophisticated. This is a big challenge for me. I will try my best." Jing laughed and said, "I believe in Ms. Jiang's level. Ms. Jiang will make an offer." Zhang Jingying smiled apologetically, as if she was embarrassed to talk about the price, and said, "Mr. Jing, I will complete the first version of the design drawings within a week. Then they will be sent to you for review until you are satisfied with the revision. Design cost, 180,000. After signing the contract, pay a deposit of 20,000 yuan first, and then pay the remaining balance after Mr. Jing is satisfied. I am quite confident in my design level." Itaka was about to speak when the phone rang.